Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. And this is the weekend review. Let's rip the band-aid off. Naomi has vacated the Raw Women's World Championship. I have had a bit of time to process this. Obviously, as a human being, I very happy for Jimmy and Naomi, especially when you learn more about Naomi's story. Because she opened up about that in an interview. She thought that she could never have kids, just because of bodily issues. There, and I know that's a lot for any woman to navigate. But so when she got pregnant, you can imagine the reaction. And so I am happy for them, given everything they had to overcome. That said, because it is a wrestling podcast, and I am a wrestling fan to a point. I don't know. Joshi's really keeping me afloat right now. WWE, you guys have really heard me go mask off. I've just been like, this company really makes me sick, but the roster's talented. I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken, and I'm not gonna make this a bit where I go after Jimmy or any of that bullshit. I'd like to be real here for this segment. I was loving what Naomi was doing, and you can check the record for yourself. The past two Fave Fives that Ash and I have done, she topped number one on my Universal Top 10. That is how much I was loving what she was doing. I was even thinking while I was getting ready, and I thank my cohort and commentary's patience here because I had broken off from family today and there were a few house things I had to take care of, which is why we're a little bit late. My fault. I was thinking that for year-end awards, had Naomi kept on this trajectory, she very well might have been my female wrestler of the year. Her being gone this long now for a beautiful thing, and I can't stress that enough. It is for a beautiful thing. Better this than an injury, right? Better love and making a family than, oh my God, my livelihood's in peril. That's where I worry about Kevin Owens currently with his neck. Um, but still, she's going to be out a while, and I feel like it's going to be overtaken. And I really have to be honest. While the women's division across all of WWE is very impressive right now, I do think Naomi leaves a kind of vacuum because she might not have been the best in-ring performer, although even by that metric, I think she's pretty fucking solid. But as a character and as a promo, I felt like she was on top of her game, and I felt like she was one of the best assets in the whole company. Right? And I'm going to have Ashton give all of his opinions here in a moment, although I'm assuming that we agree on a lot of what I'm saying. I guess for me, working through the pain as a fan of losing that content, of losing the sight of that performer every week, I'm definitely, it's sad. And I definitely had kind of a visceral reaction. I'm like, God damn it, because I was loving a run. I really felt like it was going to be a kind of defining run for the year. So there is a lot of disappointment there for me. But again, I'm trying to compartmentalize. And so looking forward, I don't know, because we know Stephanie Vaquer is the number one contender for Clash in Paris. And like, that's next Sunday, right? So we got to figure something out. So I'm really curious what Raw this Monday is going to do. If it's going to be like a battle royal or what they're going to do to find a suitable challenger for Stephanie. But I'm not even going to speculate who I think should fill that vacuum. Maybe we'll even do that at Clash in Paris when they kind of give the answer to us and we can decide between Stephanie and whoever else is kind of vying for that spot. But just about Naomi, partner, like, what are your feelings about it? Because I thought she cut a great promo. And even then, like, if I'm honest again, as a fan, like, I wish there was a way to kind of maintain the kayfabe a little bit of just how villainous she is. But it really was like a sincere thing. The fans were behind her. She got emotional. And so it was definitely beautiful. But part of me is like, I don't know, man, because I always felt like this gimmick was going to turn her babyface eventually. I just would have liked it done in a different way. I just I just wanted this to be so different, but you can't stop life. And these are two people that wanted to make a family. And again, I'm compartmentalizing. Just as a fan, I saw so much with this character and the stories, and none of that's going to happen now. And I feel like this is the second time this has happened to me in completely different ways because I was also heavily invested in John Cena's character. And that was even worse because that wasn't even an act of love or, what have you that Naomi and Jimmy have committed to. That was just writing and Brock, and that makes me even more infuriated, but that's a separate thing. So yeah, I don't know really what anything happens now, and I'm just curious now that you've also had the same time to process what you think about all this.
I'm happy for Naomi and Jim, or I guess
Yeah,
is Jimmy's real name John or Joshua? I forget.
I thought it was John. I
Yeah, I think
thought.
Jay is Joshua, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
So yeah,
yes.
happy for Trinity and John. That's really cool. Stoked for them. Um, Looking forward to hopefully sometime next year getting Naomi back. I hope that her character isn't too different than it is now, but I can't imagine there's not going to be some babyface twist on it, given people aren't going to want to boo her. They're going to miss her.
Right.
They're going to want to, they're going to be excited to see her back. That kind of stuff. But I mean, this kind of stuff, especially what you were talking about with Naomi thinking that she probably wouldn't be able to be a mother, to be able to give birth. Just really wishing them the best and hoping that everything works out through to the end and they have a healthy baby 9 months from now when it's supposed to come, and everything is just fairy tale ending for them until Naomi decides that she's ready to come back, and maybe then Jimmy goes on a sabbatical to take care of the kid while she's being a pro.
Yeah. Yeah, they alternate because Jimmy right now is holding down the fort, and I think it would only be fair that when Naomi comes back, Jimmy goes on a paternity leave, and then
Yeah.
she just really gets to have her run. I completely agree with you there. On the more wrestling side, how do you see this shaking out for Clash in Paris? Do you just think they put the title on Stephanie? Do you think we're going to have just some kind of out
I
of
don't think they're
nowhere
just going to
champion?
put the title on Stephanie. I would not be surprised if on this coming episode of Raw, if we had some kind of contendership match where it was like Io, Rhea, Asuka triple threat, winner faces Stephanie for the vacant title.
I would think Io wins that. This way we could finally get resolution between the television feud because the matches have been on TV to this point
Yeah.
of Stephanie and Io. Would you agree
Yeah.
with that point?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, gonna be honest, man. When I looked through the raw like YouTube clips, nothing really jumped out at me. I was kind of apathetic to a lot that got like emphasized. I still think the women continue to be the best part of the entire company because
Yeah.
I think one of the more compelling stories is Io with Asuka, which just talk about that Asuka on her Kanachan TV YouTube channel uploaded. I wouldn't necessarily call it a promo per se, but I mean, hell, it was. She promoted what she's been doing with Io. So in that sense, yes, it was a promo, and I quite liked it because Asuka didn't take the bitter, jaded route of like, oh, who does Io think she is, whatever. It was very grounded, very down to earth, talking about her time with Io in Japan and saying, she always saw Io as like somebody very talented and very gifted, and she cared for her, and she just wanted to do wrestling and change the industry together. And she feels like Io doesn't share that same desire to do it together with Asuka, and I'm sure by extension Kylie. And like I'm loving this age for, for all of my sour grapes lately because I've been a real grumpus about pro wrestling, and I won't make any bones about that. I do like that we're in an age where the storytelling is treating people more humanely. Like there's just more human complexity. It's not, oh man, you tie people to railroad tracks and whatever kind of evil, and it's, oh, you're, Mother Teresa level good. Like everybody dances in the gray, I feel like today, but in a way that, again, is very grounded, very realistic. I think Asuka had a very human response, and I really, really like this video here. And that came after Raw because Raw here, Io beat Raquel, and then when Judgment Day, her and Roxanne, everybody were trying to get like a beat down, Rhea comes out to help. And this was after, like before the match, Io even tells Asuka and Kylie, like, I've got this, stay in the back. Like, because I think she was still miffed about the week prior with them costing her the match against Roxanne. And then Asuka's kind of upset, oh, so Rhea's allowed to help you, but we're not. And then you got to wonder what Rhea's motivations are in this because she's never beaten Io, and you have to wonder on some level, is she like quietly doing psychological warfare, trying to make Io tilt mentally, then get a match with her? And then when she's tilted mentally, it's like, oh, now I can beat her because she's tilted mentally. So I like all the moving parts here. I mean, you're Io Sky super fan, and I know you love Rhea and you love Asuka. I think you pretty much like everybody involved in this. So what are you thinking about this story so far?
I'm enjoying it. I think it's been compelling. I have enjoyed that Asuka and Rhea both have very different perspectives, and neither one of them is necessarily actually wrong. And I love Io's acting. Her acting, distressed and angry, annoyed with her friends is, I think, well done. And I'm definitely looking forward to the in ring action that results from this.
Yes. Very well said. I'm going to be honest, guys. I really don't care to talk about much else from Raw besides the main event. Jey Uso beat Braun Breaker in an Extreme Rules match because of Roman Reigns. And really, the only thing I have to say about that is the Clash build for the Fatal 4-Way. Seth, LA Knight, Punk, and Jey Uso has been decent so far. And really, I'm just looking forward to that Roman Reigns Braun Breaker one-on-one match. That's the big thing for me. Is the first one-on-one match those two have. I am fucking there, and I hope Braun Breaker wins, although I have my doubts.
It's still Roman
And then
Reigns after all.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, so I don't know. There's been is it confirmed actually that Bronson Reed versus Roman is happening at Clash? Because I feel like that's still speculative, isn't it?
I have no clue.
I'm going to assume that's still
We'll
speculative.
know for sure next week when we do our preview predictions for it.
There you go. So that's Raw, everybody, because the rest was just mid card fluff that, to be perfectly frank, I don't give a shit about. And again, we're not a recap show. So okay, now we move to NXT. And I'm just going to say straight away, I do want to talk about Briggs and Inamura very quickly because I hated the fucking finish of this. I hated the finish of this because Inamura, whose splash I think has gotten over with the crowd and is his finisher, Briggs kicks out of it, but he doesn't just kick out of an Inamura splash. He kicked out of an Inamura splash that put him through a table. Hated it. I feel like that Loki kind of buried Inamura's finish to me.
That's bad for sure.
And not only that, but then Briggs wins, which kind of irks me. But then I'll be honest, bro. And again, this is stuff. See, I always feel like I do thinking that I wish I would think about during recordings, after recordings, because I know for our Heatwave preview predictions, which if you guys want to see us live react to that, that'll be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Um, I know that you picked Javon to beat Oba, and I locked in Oba. Now, I'm not going to backpedal from Oba now. You know, we say locked in for a reason, but I will say Briggs beating Inamura, especially this way, kicking out of his finish and everything, and looking quote unquote strong, gave me pause because I'm like, oh God, what if Javon does win and Briggs is one of his early challengers?
Yeah.
Because I could 1000% see that. And I will say about this match, to finish why I hated it, it's bad enough that I feel like Inamura got shit on a little bit here, his finish, but then Briggs gets a lariat. Now, I'll admit his lariat looks good. You know, it's funny that JBL, like in kayfabe, saw a lot in Briggs. He picked him, I think, for some kind of qualifier a ways back, like whether it was a ladder qualifier or whatever. Or I was Iron Survivor qualifier when they were having legends pick matches, and JBL picked Briggs to be a part of his match. So, like, yeah, he's got a good lariat. I don't know why Jensen's also doing one on Evolve, but, you know, whatever. The moonsault, though, to finish this looked like shit. And I don't know if that's more on Inamura or on Briggs, but I thought it was sloppy. And that being the finish, I'm like, you really didn't need it. You could have just won after the lariat. So I pretty much hated the finish of this match.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just really wanted to get my complaints out there about that. Do you have any thoughts about this street fight?
No.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. Let's see here. Jasper Schway, Ricky Saints wins. I really have nothing to say here. We already kind of talked about Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe from preview predictions. In fact, we could just skip right over that because we made our feelings clear about that.
I want to just briefly touch on Jasper Troy and Ricky Saints.
Of course.
I really like the way that they're using Jasper Troy because they used that sort of immediate push to the moon where he just opened his NXT run with a shot at the world title, like taking a shot at God, basically. They had him lose that, and he's been kind of putting everyone over since then. I really like that booking style because it's like you establish this dude as someone that hangs with main eventers, and then he kind of becomes almost like a gatekeeper to the main event because he took Oba to the limit, and now it's like anyone that can beat him might stand a chance against Oba. So you kind of use him to put over whoever you want to be portrayed or viewed as a main event level guy. I really like the way they've been doing that. I appreciate it.
I agree, man. I'm glad you piped in to add that because I do agree with you. Again, we were talking about Grace and Blake. No need to touch on that again. Fatal Influence beat the Elegance brand. Again, we already kind of touched on that whole build for Heatwave tomorrow night, the triple threat for the Knockouts title.
Yeah.
Lainey Reed is still trying to ingratiate herself to JC.
With JC specifically, yeah.
Yeah, with JC specifically. So whatever. I think one of the best segments on NXT that I popped for was the Canada United States peace treaty. That was cool, but again, that led to the heat wave time match, so we don't really need to like dwell on that. And then yeah, number one contendership match: Trick Williams versus Javon Evans. Um, I know you said that you had said something to me before we did games where you had kind of a reaction like oh or whatever, but it was like in a bad way. Did you have a problem with the booking of this match? Like, what do you feel about this match?
With
Because I want to get
which match specifically?
Trick versus Javon for number one contendership. I feel like you said you had like you didn't get in specific because you didn't want to spoil it for me, but you felt like I don't know, you weren't really like crazy about this match. Is what the impression
I
I
do
got.
not remember.
Fair enough. Javon beats Trick after Trick got distracted because Oba originally was watching, but then Oba got replaced like high up in the stands with Mike Santana. So Mike Santana is clearly still going after the TNA World Title, which I like because I
Yeah,
want Mike Santana to win, and then I
yeah.
want Ali to beat him for it. And Ali beat Joe Hendry recently, so Joe Hendry, I've got no problem with you, but fuck off.
Back of the
So you know,
line, Hendry.
exactly. It's Ali's time. It's been Ali's time for like 5 fucking years. Let's hope a wrestling company finally gets it. So that's NXT. Then going to Evolve, which we both actually watched. But then again, this was an interesting episode because we skipped two different segments this week. We skipped Kylie Ray versus Chantel Monroe, but Chantel Monroe did win, which I thought was
Thank
cool. I like Chantel.
goodness. Really
Yeah.
cool. Part of me thinks that they're just going to use that win as a way to get, to book Chantel to get a title shot at the ID championship.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point,
Because they
actually.
just introduced the NX or the WWE ID championships like literally last week. They talked about them, and Kylie Ray won the women's one. Did Legacy win the men's? I forget.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But they're like new titles that are just for WWE ID prospects, and I guess that they are won and defended on non WWE shows like other promotions. Um, because I think it was DeFi Wrestling that the inaugural champions got crowned. I'm not 100% sure on that either.
Well, Chantel wins. We know that she wants the Evolve Women's Championship, and we know that she's going to be in the running because next week on Evolve, it is going to be Callie Armstrong versus Chantel Monroe versus Carmen Petrovich. I think versus Nikita Lyons in a four-way because Nikita Lyons barged into an office, and that was enough for her to get a title shot.
Yeah.
Make it make fucking sense. Um,
Oh, they can't.
Fair enough.
That's
All
another
right.
thing. They can't.
Yes. Swipe Right defeated Aaron Rourke and Marcus Mathers in a very fun tag match. And I'll give them credit for this. They really built tension, had some great false finishes. Because we know that on Evolve, they've been teasing tension within the Vanity Project, which I hate because they're currently penciled in as my faction of the year. And I'm like, well, have they lasted long enough for me to still give them that award if they break up within the next month or so? I don't know. So I'm really going to have to keep my options open, I guess. I don't really feel like the Vision really deserve it either yet, though. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it was a really fun match. I fucking love Swipe Right. I have said over and over again, I think they are the perfect blend of old school meets new school. Old school in the sense of this really feels like an updated, modernized gimmick that you would see in the 80s. And obviously, they wrestle very contemporaneously. So yeah, love Swipe Right. So happy for them. And we skipped Sean Legacy versus Rich Holland. And Rich Holland won with, I'll admit, a very nice looking gut wrench powerbomb. I already prefer it to his cradle DDT finisher, the Redeemer. I think that
Mm-hmm.
gut wrench powerbomb looked great. So yeah. And then Ice Williams talked trash to Legacy, and I hope he told him how shit of a promo he is because he needs the criticism. So
Unfortunately, that was not part of the confrontation.
well, like all things in my life recently, what a disappointment. And so then we go to our SmackDown review. Um, Dude, and then SmackDown's another one. Okay, so we get Becky Lynch, and she does the Alexa Bliss shit, where she panders at first. She's like, "Oh, it's so great, that we're doing a televised show in Dublin." And 10 years ago or something, like I sat there like 20 years ago. I don't fucking know. I sat in the audience, and I swear Randy Orton made eye contact with me. And now that I'm here, I can say you don't deserve a show. And yeah,
I
yeah, okay.
loved this Becky promo. Full disclosure, I thought it was
Here's
great.
the thing. I don't like that she did an Alexa Bliss tactic, but you know how good Becky is because there's a certain charm that she has where she can get away with it, I think, better than Alexa Bliss
Well,
can.
the thing is, at no point during her promo was she trying to sell anyone on the idea that she's a babyface now. She was just temporarily pandering to her hometown crowd before
Yeah.
going into heel mode and being like, okay, let's get down to business fuck you guys.
So I think my favorite line in this was because the crowd did a few times actually. They did to Logan Paul and they did to Becky, and I'm sure they did to others. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Who am I? I'm a New York Times best-selling author. I'm a WrestleMania main eventer. I'm the women's intercontinental champion, and I'm also married to a very, very hot husband."
Hot
So yeah,
American husband, she had
hot
to specify.
American. Yeah. Then she gets interrupted by Tiffany, who then gets interrupted by Nia, who then gets interrupted by Jade Cargill. And
Yeah, these promos just got worse and worse as they came out, and I only say that because I don't think Jade even spoke.
I do I want to be an asshole right now? I kind of
Is
do.
there ever a bad time to be an asshole when we're doing this?
Yeah, probably. I could probably stand to be more sensitive to the product in some ways, but I said earlier that WWE on the whole I think is a very strong women's division, and I do stand by that. But I mean, I guess they left it to SmackDown to show the cheeks because Jesus fucking
SmackDown's
Christ,
women's division is very, very weak. I mean,
yeah.
they even had to bring over Becky Lynch to be on this show, and then like I get why they did because it's Dublin, but like she doesn't go here. She's a Raw wrestler. Raw's women's division is stacked partially because of her. But then SmackDown, like Chelsea's fantastic, and I really like Michin. They are sorely missing Bianca Belair right now.
Dude, yes.
And frankly, they're sorely missing Naomi too, who was just there like 3 months ago.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you because I mean, hell, you practically gave me the green light when you're like, "Is there ever a bad time to be an asshole when we're doing this?" I know they're still trying to make Jade Cargill a thing, and I'm not gonna dogpile on the woman because apparently she did. Like the criticism on social media did get to her. I think she posted at one point like, "Oh, you guys win," and it was a picture of her like, her head in her hands, pretty much like, what do you want from me, kind of thing. So I don't mean to pile on, but she is very green. Like I don't think that's a mean thing to say. I think that's honest. And if they want to make her a thing, and more importantly, if they want to sell the appearance that she's a thing, you're going to need to write Bianca a big fat check. Because I think if anybody can really save the Jade Cargill project, it is Bianca Belair. And that is the highest compliment you can give to a performer. Because I think the true measure, and we said it during Bayley's really dominant SmackDown Women's title reign, when you can get a good match or do a good program out of anybody, and I think at that point it was oh god, I'm
Tamina,
blanking. Tamina, yes, thank you. And Tamina, I'll say this: I think Tamina was better than Jade at that point. Like,
yeah,
so Bianca is really going to have her work cut out for her. But I think if anybody could pull it off, and again, this is where my flowers for Bianca come in. It is Bianca Belair. Like that. That is going to be the program that either makes or breaks the appearance of Jade Cargill being a thing. Because I think in actuality, she's always going to be very green. I mean, look, I've been listening a bit more on and off. Again, being kind of an asshole aesthetically, I can take his voice only in small doses. I've been listening more to Steven Richards' podcast. He seems like one of the more grounded wrestling
oh,
personalities in
does
the
his
business.
voice bother you? That's interesting. I don't have a problem.
But I think at some points it's like he seems like a little whatever to me. But then again, who the fuck am I to talk? I've got a boatload of issues. But one thing I liked that he said about Jade, which I think is true. Although then they kind of praise Charlotte for the same thing, and I'm like, God, how has Charlotte deceived everybody? Is like Jade has no gears. And I agree with that fundamentally. I think Jade has one gear and she does okay in that one gear, but you're never going to see this woman in a 15-minute match even. She's very Goldberg-esque, I think.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, we're going to have to see what Bianca can do with her. I didn't mean to talk about Jade this long, but I think it's more a broader discussion of the weakness of SmackDown Women's Division. And when your pillars of it are Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton, God help you.
don't
I don't
forget
know.
Nia Jax, who was also right here in this segment.
So just to put a neat bow on it, so we don't have to talk about these people again, because in the words of Bartleby Scrivener, I would prefer not to. Uh Fucking Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton win the tag match against Nia and Becky, which Aldis made with the permission of Pierce after Jade pinned Nia. So it's very clear that they're trying to say that the stuff between Jade and Tiffany isn't over, and how unfortunate for the rest of us. So
I do
yeah.
I do think that like a big part of the problem as far as why SmackDown's women's division feels so weak now is partially because of how weak the champion is. Tiffany Stratton is not a good wrestler and she's an even worse promo.
Yeah, and yet the crowd's eating out of the palm of her hand. So, like, I feel like you and I are kind of in a minority here, unfortunately, a correct minority, but still a minority.
The
And
way you said that popped me.
yeah,
A
I mean it.
correct minority because that
Yeah,
is
I
so
mean
important.
it should because we're right. But yeah, um, Mello don't Miz beat
Oh
Machine Guns.
God, I like both of these individual performers, but this act is so cringe to me. I can't.
I'm gonna defend this act on one basis. I think Miz is gonna do it again because I feel like every time he's gotten somebody over as a babyface, he's been the secret sauce. I think the only difference is, unlike Riley and unlike Sandow or Dow Miz or whatever the fuck, or Miz Dow, when he was doing that, I think Mello has the in ring ability and charisma innately more than those two guys even combined to carry the momentum that Miz gives him. So I think Miz is doing the thing again where he gets a guy over and he's going to be that kind of propulsion system. But then Melo's going to be able to self sustain that momentum. That's what I'm hoping for from
I
this, and
hope
that's why
you're
I'm
right,
going to defend
man.
it.
I really do.
I think history gives me confidence, and that's the only reason I'm defending it is because this isn't the first time Miz has done an angle like this. So let it cook is what I would say about it.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would defend a
You know,
mid
it's
card thing, but there
interesting
you
though
go.
because I don't think that this is going to be like textbook Miz stuff because that would imply that Miz as the heel would betray his partner and turn them face. I think the opposite's going to happen here, man. I think Trick is going to get called up and tag with Mello, and Mello's going to betray Miz for Trick.
You know, I can see it, but don't you think it's a bit weird that Miz is the one kind of stealing tags and the glory, and yet he still ends up as the babyface?
I mean, bro, the crowd is literally chanting, "We want Miz."
That's also fair. That is a fair counterpoint. That is a fair counterpoint. So yeah, I'm not ready to concede to you just yet, but I am open to what you said. So I guess we'll just see where that goes. I'm responding to Super Blue, and then I'll go back to seeing what we can even talk about from this SmackDown. Uh, Um, yeah, it was very important for me to retort. Um, okay, yeah, so Piper beat Charlotte. It's good to see the Secret Harvest potentially in the women's tag title picture. I just wish I cared. I think the only other big thing, because Street Profits beat MFTs thanks to Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso. Cool. And then,
Thank you, Jimmy.
Damian Priest beat Aleister Black. So really the only two things left in my mind
The
to
Damian
talk
Priest
about.
Aleister Black stuff was cool because Black was expecting a match with R-Truth, and R-Truth got on, and he was like, "Man, I went to Dublin, Georgia. My bad. I got a
Yeah,
replacement though." And then Priest came out, and Black had this look on his face like, "Oh fuck."
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was really well done. I like that.
So yeah, I think the only other two things that are worth talking about in my mind are John Cena and Logan Paul's segment and Drew McIntyre won in Cody Rhodes and he got Randy Orton. So starting with Cena and Paul, I'm gonna be honest, a decent promo from Logan Paul. I think he's inconsistent on the mic, but I think he leans more slightly positive. I'm not gonna give him a glowing endorsement by any means. I thought Cena did great here. I just God, I hate how like the whole thing was bungled, and now we're back to face Cena, and I still have some residual whiplash, but he did do great here. I love that he. What was concerning to me, though, I'll be honest, and Cena didn't do anything wrong. It's more of a meta concern. Is that Cena listed a bunch of guys? He had a moment in a promo where he said that Logan Paul was like taking an opportunity. Really shocked that he named Dom Mysterio first as like the guys that Logan was taking an opportunity from.
That took me aback too. I was like, "Oh, really? We're listing Dominic Mysterio, the ultimate nepo baby, whose entire offensive move set is tribute acts to his real father and his not so real father." But no, he's a guy who did it the quote unquote right way. Okay.
Mm, he mentioned him. The thing that kind of took me aback was that like it was a mixture of like the future and the past because he mentioned AJ Styles and
Yeah.
like of all the people he mentioned, and he mentioned Jacob Fatu, but AJ Styles gets the pop. Now, granted, it's one crowd and it's Dublin, and I think AJ has earned his flowers and he's earned
Bro,
his respect,
this
but
is a
still,
crowd that chanted, "You can't wrestle" at a literal Olympian.
did they chant that at Tyra May Steel or something?
Jeff Cobb.
Oh shit! I actually forgot that Jeff Cobb was an Olympian for a second, but you're right. That is wild.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, I'm not gonna overestimate it, but it took me aback a little bit, that AJ like over all these like young guns, and I'm like, are we really creating stars if
It's
AJ is getting like the
as
big pop?
far as I'm concerned, these European crowds might as well just be AEW crowds. They're gonna root for the work rate people.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I thought Cena had a great promo here, and he lays out Logan with an AA. Logan tags him back later when Aldis wanted to talk to Cena about Brock Lesnar. That's how his name's being said now. Fuck you, Paul Heyman. So yeah, what did you think about this segment, bro? What do you think about this match? I mean, I guess we could get more into it, for Clash next Friday when we do preview predictions, but just any thoughts about this promo?
I think I do think that Cena went a little like textbook on Logan. Pretty much said everything to Logan that's already been said to him by other people. I don't think that Cena really brought anything new to the table with this promo, other than deciding that Dominic Mysterio did it the right way, which was just weird and wrong. Um, and I basically tune Logan Paul out at this point. So I mean, you said that he had a pretty decent promo. I couldn't tell you. I'm gonna just have to take your word for it.
You know what? Fair enough, bud. And then last thing we'll talk about, and I'm glad the pace that we've kind of established here, because again, I'm really just fucked up to be mindset right now. Drew McIntyre again, just
Drew
calling out.
McInfart.
Wow, that was no pop.
That was a reference.
He
Adam Pierce calls him that.
I know, but I feel like he hasn't been a fart in a while. I think he's getting some of his heat back. Although I still miss babyface Drew, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Um, so calling out Cody Rhodes, still wanting Cody Rhodes, and saying, "Oh, you're ducking me, whatever." You have no friends in the locker room now. You want to talk about pops? Orton, I think, got pop of the fucking week. The
Yeah.
pop when he was behind Drew. Holy
Bro,
shit!
goofball Randy Orton will never not pop me. And that's me talking about me, not even the crowd who, yeah, lost their minds for him.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I need a compilation of Randy Orton just in general spazzing the fuck out. Rope DDT, RKO setup, after RKO. Anytime that dude has the demons take over,
Yeah.
I need a compilation of it because it is the funniest fucking shit. And I'll be honest,
When he listens a little too intently to the voices.
yeah, and I gotta say, Orton, because I say this with like, I don't know, 30% confidence. As a man who also has the tism, I stim to that fucking shit. I get turned up when I see Orton turn up. So, no judgment, my dude. You're fucking goated. I mean, granted, your right wing opinions are fucking trash and garbage, and I wish you would do better. But I mean, on that level, I feel you, okay? I feel you. So, Orton and McIntyre doing this shit again. You know, I like them both enough that I'm like, I'll tolerate it. I'll tolerate it. Sure. I mean, we're just taking the scenic route to Cody retaining the title anyway against Drew because I don't know if we're ever going to get a proper Drew title reign again. And we'd especially like one as a babyface. I don't even know if that's happening again. So yeah, a lot happening. A lot happening. But yeah, that's pretty much SmackDown. And I watched a little bit of like AEW clips and stuff. They're editing their YouTube clips now, which I hate because I actually liked when it was full segments, so you'd have context. And I'm only really looking forward to MJF versus Hangman Adam Page from Forbidden Door tomorrow, which I'm probably going to miss because my sleep schedule is garbage. Although I did a bit better today. So yeah, is there any AEW you want to talk about this week?
No.
Excellent. Any extracurriculars this week?
No.
Excellent. Let's open up the forum for questions. Man, bud, I feel like you and I were on the same wavelength this week. I came in feeling guilty because I'm like, man, John, get the stick out of your ass. There are two people here. And then you're just like, no, fam,
No.
just get out of here.
No, yeah, like you know how I have been telling you over the course of the last couple of years that I can feel my love for football, like the NFL, waning over time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's apply that to pro wrestling definitely for sure too now.
I have been there. This is fucking industry. Jesus Christ. So we've opened up the forum for questions, and I think we've already got two questions. And I want to thank you guys for always, showing up for these. You guys are beautiful. So we're going to start with Alex Foster. Speaking of beautiful, how apropos. Personally, who would you want to retire Cena now that he's babyface again? I would still love like a heel Braun Breaker or something. Imagine the bragging
Breaker
rights.
or Femi?
Yeah, I agree with Ashton completely.
That's
Breaker
been
or
my
Femi.
answer since day one though. Like if they already blew the Cena Orton match, and I really thought that Cena's last match ever would be against Orton, but they already had that match happen back in like May. Um, Yeah, I would want it to be like a future guy, like someone that's going to be a big deal, someone's going to main event WrestleMania 2, 3, 5 years down the line. So yeah, Breaker, Femi, or Dark Horse Jacob Fatu.
Man, Jacob Fatu, that would be fun. That would be fun.
Well,
All
yeah,
right.
because like he already like Cena already lost to Solo at that fucking Saudi show like last year or the year before that. He took like
Yeah.
10 thumbs to the throat. So yeah, for him to put over Jacob as well would be really cool, especially because Jacob is better than Solo.
You're so right. I mean, Cena lost Solo before Solo was even funny, and that's just sad.
It's true. Yeah, he lost to the worst version. No, that's not true. He lost to one of the worst versions of Solo Sokoa.
Yeah, NXT Street Fighter Solo is worse Solo. Uh,
Yeah, he's the third Uso, but he tapes his knuckles.
yeah, more like Oos. Oh, is
No.
that all there is?
Oh, you made it better than I did.
Listen, our faces make each other better, and that's why I love you. Anyway, uh, caster sales. Since Bailey is going through a character transformation, that is another interesting thing happening. I am enjoying those Bailey vignettes. Do you think she will
Yes.
occupy the void Naomi left on the show? I think Bailey has the best chance to. I look, if I am being honest, I agree with your assessment, Caster, and where you're kind of guiding the question. I will just reiterate what I said last week. I am terrified because you have to write storylines like this very well. And look, and I'm tired of saying the qualifier because Ashton always says yes, we are. So yes, we are a political podcast. I am very weary of mental illness and stuff being caricatured and mental health being caricatured for like villainous purposes. I would like depth and complexity and stuff like that. Um, I just don't think WWE's ever been really good at that. I mean, they have their moments, sure. So I worry there could also be ableist undertones. I don't know. So yeah, I am
I
on
think
edge with it.
honestly, all of your concerns, just prepare and expect them.
Yeah, yeah. But I will say on the more positive side, I love Bailey to death, and I'm glad she's got a story with meat on the bone. So you take what you can get right at this point. So
God, that's
yeah,
so sad for us.
it is so sad for us, bud. And
This
guess what?
company's been so horrible for so long that we just hope that something doesn't completely, horribly, miserably suck, and that maybe it just sucks a little.
Wow, I feel like we're talking about both the company and the state of America at the same time. Um, so next question. Oh, Super Blue wants us to preview and predict for AEW Forbidden Door, but only matches we like
But
or
only
are
matches
invested
we
in.
like, so none of them.
I mean, again, I have an investment in the main event personally,
The main
and I'll
event.
just say,
So Hangman
yeah,
Adam Page versus MJF, right? Yeah.
yeah. I have to wonder because I saw one theory I think from somebody because MJF pretty much retained the rights to his contract after he threatened to set Mark Briscoe on fire. Pretty fucking based. So yeah, I'm thinking they do like, I don't know, a 30, maybe even a 60-minute match because AEW loves to masturbate to itself. And then maybe MJF like gets DQ'd at some point and then cashes in the contract because he cheated and he wore down Hangman on the page. But then I feel like Mark Briscoe may screw him out of the contract match, which would really hurt MJF. So that's my prediction. They have like, I'll say a 30-minute match. MJF gets DQ'd deliberately to weaken Adam Page because he knew he was going to cash in the contract, hands in the contract, bell rings, Mark Briscoe comes out, maybe even just get on the apron, whatever. Page gets his bearings, beats MJF. MJF is fucking incensed because his master plan got foiled by a fucking hick. So yeah, Hangman Adam Page to retain and
Damn
more or
MJF.
less.
I hope that happens so I can make fun of you.
Wow. You know what? I'm gonna let you have it because you're beautiful, and that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's essentially it. Cash sales. How do you feel about MJF managing to get a title shot without having to execute his contract by throwing
Wait,
summer?
wait, wait, wait,
Again,
wait, 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 wait. I just want to back us up a little bit because you did, we did talk about preview predicting matches on Forbidden Door that we care about.
yeah.
I think Zack Sabre Jr. is going to retain against Nigel. I think Fletcher retains against Hiramu. I think Mercedes retains against Windsor, Persephone, and Bozilla. I hope upon hope that Athena beats Timeless Tony Storm for the AEW Women's title. And I think Swerve beats Okada for the United title. Those are the matches that I would say that I care about at all.
Yeah, and I'm going to co-sign with all those predictions. One, because they emanated from your face, and two, pursuant of number one, it was correct. So there we go.
I love that you added pursuant of number one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You love how I word, so I just have to pop you every chance I get.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm a slave to it.
Caster Sales. I already kind of answered this question within the previous prediction question, but I'll answer it again. How do you feel about MJF managing to get a title shot without having to execute a contract by threatening to set Mark Briscoe on fire? I thought it was hot, figuratively, and I wish it was hot literally, but it didn't happen. So there you go. Super Blue.
Oh.
Do do, do you think do you think do you think the draft might happen now that the ESPN deal is active? You know what? Honestly,
If
Super
they
Blue,
do
that's
a
a
live
genuinely good
draft on
question.
ESPN, I would love for us to try and find a way to react to that shit. That would be amazing.
You know what? I have to agree with you, and you know what, Super Blue? Give you I will give you credit. Like that's a genuinely good question because I didn't think about that. But I think you're absolutely right. They would love to frame the draft that way. Like, oh, ESPN's covering it. We're gonna have analysts breaking down the picks. And like, is it masturbatory as fuck? Yeah, but is it also clever to a point? I'd say also yeah. So I like where your head's at, Super Blue. In this particular case, I like where your head's at. Um, so let's see other questions. Foster, what should be next for Lyra? I just feel like a non-title feud with Bayley. Bayley going through these changes. Maybe a more malicious part of Bayley's personality takes over and is like, Lyra, you don't walk away from me kind of thing. And they keep having banger matches. And hopefully it elevates Lyra to kind of the world title scene or back to the Intercontinental title scene after Becky drops title if it would happen within that time span. So I just most immediately say feud with Bayley. Do you have any ideas for Lyra?
It would
I'm going to take
be
that as a no.
no,
Yeah,
no, no,
okay.
no, 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 no. That wasn't a no. That was me thinking. I took a few seconds to think. I think it would be really
Okay.
cool if she was involved in whatever match was happening to determine Stephanie's opponent at Clash, and
Yeah.
then maybe Bayley screws her out of that, leading to them feuding. I will say though, I don't want their feud to be like a constant at each other's throats because I really want Bayley to beat Becky for the Intercontinental title so that Lyra has that to also try and go after Bayley for.
Like Lyra because I really liked her promo from a few weeks ago where she's still keeping that distance from Bayley, but you could see she's questioning herself a little bit. Like, am I responsible for this? I want them to play with that a bit more. Where like Lyra almost feels a responsibility to Bayley and tries to get her back to her senses, but like Bayley's just not having it, kind of thing, if we're
Yeah.
doing this. I don't know. I'd be curious what Mark thinks. I know Mark is super psyched. He's been riding an endorphin wave with like all things Bayley, and honestly, I'm happy for the dude. He may love math, but he's also a good dude. We all get a little mixed up sometimes. So it's all good.
And this is Mark
Um,
S that we're talking about.
yes, Mark S, non-severance related. A Mark. Uh, let's see, Caster Sales, not answering that question, Super Blue. Caster Sales, who do you think will win next week? Sheamus or Rusev? You know what? I'm hoping Sheamus because I'd like to see him go after Dom and win that Intercontinental title and get Grand Slam and just be finally an Intercontinental champion. I think Sheamus has earned it. He's been putting in great work, especially relative to his age. And here's the thing: he's still genuinely over. He's certainly more over than Rusev right now. So Sheamus.
Is he more over than Dom though?
That's a genuine question. And to be honest, I'm going to say no. But I guess the real barometer would be them sharing a ring together, wouldn't it? So we'll see.
Maybe.
Any other questions, y'all?
Yeah. Hit us with your best shot.
Going once,
Oh baby.
going twice.
Oh, who do you? No, we already answered that. Going three times. And
Closing the
she's
gate. Yep.
closed.
All right. We got one question for Super Blue, and then we're wrapping it up. How do you feel about the Edwards dropping the ball against Order 4 in the six-man tag match? I posted the video on Discord. Is worth reacting to.
No.
Fuck. That took me out, bro. What the hell?
I can tell. I didn't expect to pop you that hard. Damn.
Dude, the way you shit on Dreams, I really want to meet the alternate universe you that's such a douche. We would get along so well. Oh my god. We'd have
Oh.
so much bullying to catch up
I think that
Holy
one of
shit.
the biggest reasons we get along so well in this universe is because of our personalities matching up so well. And if I had a
That's so
totally different personality, I don't know how well we would get along.
That's so true, but like I swear there's an Ashton out there that's like an uber successful capitalist, but actually knows what to do with it for taking over the earth because like all the other billionaires are kind of failing at it. Like they're succeeding, but like what empire? It's all crumbling. You can't even do it right. Whereas
It's
you
like
would
Daenerys said, I don't want to rule over an empire of ashes.
exactly. Whereas you would five head the whole thing. You would be like Doom with his own country, Latveria,
Latveria,
and yeah,
yeah.
and like it'd be fucking dude. Douchebag megalomaniacal you is fucking hot.
I
I'm
like the way
saying.
you said megalomaniacal. That was hot.
Yeah, yeah, I'm telling you, he's based as shit. I'm telling you, I'm calling all the other Ashtons that are templates of this Ashton here. Contact me. Let's network. Let's do douchey things together. I have so much hate to give. Uh,
Oh,
so, oh, God damn it, I caught myself. Yeah, so bro, this is a 17-minute video. I don't even know if I want to skip to the end for this. I'm just going to say that, of course, they dropped the ball because Order 4 is a superior faction and you need to get over it. Like, Ali is just a great leader. He's better than LA Knight. And LA Knight
no,
doesn't
but
even
isn't
have
that
a
one of
faction.
Super Blue's persistent talking points, though, that Ali's a bad leader, actually?
Well, he's wrong. So
I mean, yeah,
that's
I'm not disagreeing with the fact that he's wrong. I'm just, like, trying to emphasize that that is a reason, like, that's, like, one of the pieces of foundation that is leading to him asking this particular question.
in Ali I trust. So there you go.
Yeah.
Uh, Foster, actually, no, I'm not answering that. We're doing high spots, low shots. You know what you're listening to. You're listening to the sexiest podcast on the planet, my friend. Mainly because you also listen to it. That contributes exponentially to the overall sexiness.
Yeah,
High
I
spots.
don't know how sexy this podcast would be without Alex Foster in the audience.
That's so true. So true. Oh God, Super Lee said 12:50 is the timestamp. Okay, fine, fine. I will go to this.
You don't need to give this to him.
You know what? You're right. I don't. We're parenting right now. This isn't happening. High spots, low shots. Um, who's my low shot this week? You know what? Inamura. Inamura.
Oh,
I think his finish got buried.
you're right, but it's sad.
Dude, I know. Life is sad. Fuck. Uh,
Life is pain.
God, fuck you too. Actually, no, wait. I actually kind of like you on commentary. I'm not gonna take it out on you. That's unhealthy. I'm sorry. So yeah, don't you giggle over there. You'll pop me again.
Did you
Um,
just have an identity crisis, sir?
maybe. I don't even know what
Oh,
I am anymore.
you're precious, and that's all that fucking matters.
I mean, the fascists disagree, which is probably why I'm gonna get liquidated in the
Do
next
you
4 years,
think
but
I
I
give a
appreciate.
fuck what opinion the fascists have?
Now you're on tape for when they're monitoring all of us, courtesy of Palantir, who isn't our sponsor for today's
Note
episode.
the ambiguity of the phrasing.
That's so true.
Nothing will hold
Um,
up in court. Actually, this will hold up in court. Fuck the fascists.
yeah, fuck you guys, pieces of shit. No vision beyond hating other people and being sad about your own pathetic lives because you're fucking cretins. Lead should be your only best friend. Eat shit.
Yeah, and you should
Um,
eat it for breakfast so that it slowly poisons you over time and kills you.
yeah, exactly. The
Actually,
way that
no,
I
that's wrong. The problem is the lead. If there wasn't so much lead in paint when they were growing up, maybe they wouldn't be such fucking sociopathic narcissists.
that is true. There's a lot, so which you set sociopathy back. Joe Goldberg rehabilitated it. He made it sexy again, and you set it back. Like fuck y'all, man, for real. All right, Inamura is my low shot because his finish got buried, and he fucking lost to a guy who's a piece of shit who never deserved his friendship. So it's a sad time to be Inamura. Um, so yeah, Inamura is my low shot. What about you?
Kalani, no, that's wrong. She's part of it. Remind me, no, yeah, JC Jane is my low shot because if I remember correctly, she got pinned by Lola Vice in that tag match, didn't she?
Yeah, you're right. I will actually remember this week was their match with Ash by Elegance and they won. JC got the winning pin actually.
Oh, well then, fuck. I guess I got to change my low shot. My low shot's Trick Williams because he lost to Javon, so he's not getting a shot at Oba, and he has Mike Santana breathing down his fucking neck. And as hot as Mike Santana is, And as hot as it would be if he breathed down our necks, I don't know if we would want it in this particular context where he wants to beat our asses.
Nice. High spot for me. God, who do I give it to when I really didn't give a fuck this week?
I mean,
Uh,
you could. Never mind. I'm
could I
sure
give
you
it to my own
are. Please
face?
speak.
No, I can't give it to my own face. That's too narcissistic.
That's also illegal.
Bitch, I don't give a shit about the law when the law's made by fucking capitalists.
No. This isn't federal law. This is TWitWoW law.
That actually matters because I do respect your face. Fuck.
Thank you.
Wait, do the laws I make also uphold?
Yes.
Okay, I have to remember that next time.
As
So
long as we agree on them, of course.
yeah, and I do agree on that law. Fuck. You know what? I really am kind of struggling because I did again watch YouTube clips and stuff. It was just pretty like a meh week. I guess Jey Uso because he won an Extreme Rules match and like the Vision got exposed thanks to Roman Reigns, who like when is he getting his one-on-one match with Seth Rollins? Because I feel like that's clearly where this is heading
At
towards.
WrestleMania in Hell in a Cell.
God, that's really dragging it out.
That's
Fuck.
the point. That's so Triple H, though, isn't it?
What does he want every? You know what I'm gonna say because I already started. Does he want it to be as long as his nose is? Like fuck.
It's so funny that you took it there because when you started with "Does he want every promo?" I really thought you were just going to say, "Does he want every promo to be as long as the ones that he cut during his reign of terror?" But you made it so much more personal.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I douche version of all the people I love is find me. We have work to do. We have fascists to bully into suicide. Fuck. Oh God. See, I'm still thinking about using my assholeness for good. Um,
Yeah.
I am so sorry, sir. I feel like I've disrespected you
Why
because
the
did you
fuck are you apologizing when you've done zero things wrong?
because I don't know, you didn't give your high spot yet, right? And I just want you to be able to do that
No,
so I
but
know
you
who it
also
is.
didn't even attempt to move on. So what's the problem?
I'm okay, okay. Hey, I'm sorry for being sorry. High spot.
Uh,
Just
uh,
say the business sucks. We all know it's true.
You sound so exasperated right now, or is it exacerbated? I know I never know the difference between those
You
words.
got it right the first time. Believe in yourself. Fuck.
Thank you, thank you. High spot, high spot, high spot. Let's see, high spot. Um, John, what's a good high spot for this week? It's not just Jey Uso that you just picked.
Athena retained her title recently, and seems like she's going to be entering a program with Mina Shirakawa. So
Yeah, but I
maybe
don't watch that program.
so true. God, you always give your attention in the right places. That's such a gift. Um,
You're hilarious.
do you want to? Because he did seem to pop you the hardest week. Do you want to give it to Randy Orton? I mean, he got the loudest pop. He
No.
fucking no. I'm trying to
No,
help.
because he's fucking with Drusif, and nobody should want to do that.
Yeah,
John Cena is feuding with Logan Paul and Brock Lesnar at the same time.
he's
The
in
only
hell right
reason the
now.
only reason he's remotely safe is because he's a man.
Becky Lynch cut a break promo, and she retained her title against Natalia this week.
Was that this week?
Yeah.
Holy poop! Then yeah, Becky is 100% my high spot.
Oh my God, I came through for you, and because I did that, I'm gonna make some changes. Fuck Jey Uso, your family's ruining my life. So my new high spot is swipe right because by them winning, they cured Vanity Project's problems, which means they're not breaking up, right, Bryce? So yeah, we got it all.
Bryce. I mean, a really strong, legitimate, like real life high spot could go to Naomi for getting pregnant when she didn't think she could. That's beautiful. I'm so
That's
happy for her.
that's way too emotionally healthy for me to give that sincerely. But I mean, if you want to give an
Damn.
honorary high spot,
Damn. Holy shit.
I'm not trying to be toxic to Naomi. I mean, definitely toxic to Jimmy Uso. I'm not even going to make any pretense about that. But
But
I
she's
love Naomi to
with him
death.
though. She's the one that chose him.
I know, and look,
He
everybody
didn't
has to get.
become the father of her child by accident.
And look, I know I'm digging myself in way too deep, but what I will say to that is, everybody makes a wrong choice at some point in their lives.
Oh my
Okay,
god!
okay, and like I will love her through this, and I'm sure he'll make a great
Oh,
father. Look, I
shit.
know what it's like to have a shitty father. Jimmy Uso is going to be a million times better than my dad, and I know that for a fact. So,
Oh my god. I
I,
mean, I hope you're right.
man, I gave a couple. I said he's going to be a great dad because I know what shitty
But
dads
you
are like.
said
And
that everybody makes a wrong decision sometimes, implying that Naomi's choice of Jimmy to be her baby daddy was a wrong one. Jesus.
I mean, I did say that, and really, I have nothing else.
Listen,
I
I
did say
know it's
that.
not quite as bad as a fucking countable, but it's like 80% of the way there.
Like, fine, I redact it. Christ, you all suck.
Wait, I'm very confused. I just read
Oh,
something
that's
in an AEW recap and it makes zero sense to me. So either this is a typo or AEW is really going full 2001 WCW. Am
yeah.
I seeing correctly that the main event of Dynamite this week was Mercedes Moné and Athena versus Tony Storm and Athena?
Probably not.
Oh, one of the Athenas was Alex Windsor. I just don't know which one. I'm assuming the Tony Storm Athena was Alex Windsor.
So it was just a typo. I mean,
Yeah.
no, not that much ketamine or coke or whatever Tony's on now. I don't know if he's still having that love affair with coke. I mean, I'm guessing he is because Cope hasn't gone back to being Adam Copeland. So yeah, fuck. But yeah,
So Cope is directly related to Coke.
well, you know my headcanon for this is that Tony Khan was walking down a hallway. He heard somebody say, "Hey, Cope." He thought somebody said, "Hey, Coke." Got excited, ran down, saw Edge, and was like steaming about it. So he's like, "I know your name was Adam Copeland, but now we're just gonna call you Cope. We're gonna cut it, and it's gonna be Cope now. Cope
Gotcha.
with it." And then he walked off.
Yeah.
So yeah, because he's a man child. So yes, you got Becky Lynch. I've got Swipe Right. I've demoted Jey Uso and Naomi and Jimmy because I really am genuinely happy for them to honorary high spot, and that's essentially it. And let's get the fuck out of here just shy of midnight, as it should be. And so yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Leave a like as you file out. Subscribe, click the bell notification so you miss any of that we're going to check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Blue Sky and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC.
We
We'll
sure
see,
are.
yeah, we will see you guys tomorrow at 7 for Heat Wave live reactions, practically doing the whole card, with the exception of if the Knockouts Championship Triple Threat is the opener, we will skip that. But if it's middle of the show, we're not going to fight it. It's whatever. So there you go. So
Whatever
yeah,
happens, happens.
exactly. 7 p.m. live reactions. Be there, or normally I'd say be a mark, but given the state of pro
Be
wrestling,
there or eat face.
I mean that's hot. So yeah, definitely. I wish I'd be eating face for sure. So yeah, come join us. It's a fun fucking time. We're bubbling personalities, I guess, and our chat's always worthwhile. Love you fucking people. Be good to yourselves and each other. It's a hard enough world out there as it is. And we'll see you tomorrow. So tune in and peace out.